I'm Katrina and welcome to FlossTube number 7. I hope you've had a great crafty week and got a lot of things done. My week was a little slow in the craft area, mostly because we've got a lot more going on with the garden and the yard, and so that takes a little bit more of my time. And then also my neck and my back have been out, and so I'm moving a lot slower. We normally homeschool in the mornings and part of the afternoon, and then I like to take a break before I make dinner and work on some stuff. But we've had appointments in town, and then me just not moving quick and getting things done. But I think I still have a lot of fun things that we can talk about and visit about. Yeah, so I think I was also just going to talk about a few weeks ago, I can't remember what video that was in, but I was talking about making some changes with my health. I kind of let my health slide with all the stuff with my mom going on. There was some comfort eating and just like not having the energy or the like space in my brain to focus on I guess making good decisions. So anyway, I think also a lot of my neck pain and my back pain is due to inflammation. So I was already cleaning up my eating a little bit and using the Trim Healthy Mama plan, but I decided to go ahead and do a Whole30 just to really like reset and let my body kind of heal. A Whole30 is pretty much, for those of you that don't know, an elimination diet. So you take grains and dairy and sugar out of your diet, and then you're just careful not to eat, I phrased it a certain way, sorry, unhealthy oils or additives. There we go. So I'm already feeling better. I started it like Thursday afternoon, and today is Sunday, and my weight has gone down 4 pounds, which is just inflammation weight. Water weight, bloat, whatever you want to call it. But so I mean, I'm happy about it, but I also, you know, I know it's not I don't know, it's not fat weight loss, but it's still a really positive thing because it means my body is healing. So there's that, whether you wanted to hear that or not. The chicks are doing well. Our little chicks that I showed you in the other video, I'll get a picture and put up here. They're getting in their big chicken feathers, and they're very focused on scratching and being chickens, you know, like our butcher chickens that we raised last year were really lazy and they were chickeny, but these little chicks are just busy, you know, they have things to do and need to get moving and get on with their day. Let's see, our week otherwise, I did have my first in-person Quilt Guild meeting, which was a lot of fun. I got to meet a bunch of the people that I've just met online and visit with them, and there was like a show and tell, so I got to see their quilts in person, which was really neat to take a closer look at those. So I'm looking forward to being a part of that group. I'm going to go here in a few weeks and help them cut some fabric at the local quilt shop to make a donation quilt, but you raise money for a cause. You know what I mean? I can't think of the word. So anyway, I'm going to go and help them do that. So I'm excited to do more things with the Quilt Guild. That was a lot of fun. I'm going to move on to events and updates. So I just wanted to share some things with you that I thought you guys might be interested in doing. Fat Quarter Shop has their Bats and Boo, or Bats and Boos, Sew Along and Quilt Along coming up. And I've heard it's going to start sometime in June, but they haven't released an official date. But you can go over to their website, and I'll put the link in the information box, and there's a little preview, and for the Stitch Along there's a supply list, so you can get your fabric and your floss ready to go. And I'm not sure that they've released a supply list for the quilt one because I think they're waiting for kits to come in, but that'll be a fun little project to get ready for Halloween. And then something that I found this past week is it's a Little Women Sew Along, and it's a stitching book club, which is a combination of my two loves. So I was like, classic literature and stitching. Can't beat that. So I joined the Little Women one, and it's starting in June 12th. So I've got a lot of stuff I'll be starting in June, and that ends in September. So every 3 weeks you will read a portion of the book and stitch part of the mystery pattern. And then they do different books throughout the year. So I think that's really neat. So that's what I've got for events and updates. I'm going to show you my progress for cross stitching. Like I said, I didn't get a whole lot done this week. So here is my rooster. If you follow me on Instagram, you'll probably have seen him. He's from Coop Almanac, which is done by Twin Peak Primitives. And here's this guy. So I'm almost done. I'll get him done by the end of May, possibly. So there's the word May, and then I've got these little vines coming down below. I think that he has roses in his little spray of flowers under there. So there will be some green leaves and some flowers as well. So there's my rooster. So that's my progress for cross stitch. That's all I got done. The only other progress I made is my husband is going to Africa. His dad and his dad's wife and her son and my husband had been planning this trip last year, and then everything got shut down, so they had to put it on hold. So now they're finally getting to go this year, and he just needs some extra masks for flight times and stuff like that. So I'm just making these. I still have to do the ties, obviously. I guess this one's inside out. So these are pretty easy to make. I can link to these as well if you still need masks. I had made another design where it's kind of the 3D, it comes out a little bit, and I really like that. It fits me comfortably, but my husband likes these, so I got him a couple going. That one still needs sewn up. So yeah, that's pretty much all I have for progress. Tips and tricks for my Stitch Mania Stitch School. I did kind of a bad job in watching videos to learn more, but I did try doing, sorry, the shirt keeps folding weird. I did try doing railroading with my stitching. So that just means that when you come back through to do your stitch, you sort of put the needle in between your two threads, and it's just supposed to help everything lay evenly so that it's not wrapping around itself. It just has a nice even flat stitch. So I tried that, and I do think it makes a difference. So I'm keeping on with it, except now I'm really slow. Yeah, so between railroading and then I'm just trying to improve the way my stitching looks, so I'm being careful not to split any of the stitches, like when I come back through where there's already been thread. So sometimes doing the sewing method, I just can't do it without like catching one of the other threads. So I have to go underneath and finagle it to get it just right. So it looks pretty, but I'm really slow. I'm hoping I'll get better and speed up a little bit, or figure out a way to stitch the sewing method and make it prettier. So yeah, that's about all I've got for my stitch school or tips and tricks. I might make myself just a list and put it on my calendar of videos to watch this week. I get caught up in catching up with everybody else's FlossTube and seeing what they're doing, and then forget that I'm supposed to be doing something specific. So maybe if it's on the calendar, I'll do it. With haul, I had kind of an interesting week for haul. So first I'll show you this one. So this is from Fat Quarters Galore, and she, I found her on Instagram, and she has a cute little website where she puts together bundles that just go nicely together. So if you're looking for something to do a quilt project with, you can just snag one of these, and your colors already coordinate. So this is mine here, and I love this envelope. I feel like I should make some sort of craft project with that. And then there's a little complimentary, what the heck? I really need more sleep. Tape measure. Ooh, there it was. That took a while to come out of my brain. And then the bundle was put together really, really nice. It looks pretty. So I'm going to show you what this goes with. So I had referenced before that So I will reference now where I spoke about the video where I have saved a bunch of my mom's shirts. She wore a lot of Western shirts, and I'm going to make like a memory quilt with hers. And maybe it's just going to be too heavy. We'll have to see how it goes. But what I want to do is take these quilt blocks that I'm going to show you, and then for the backing, use her shirt. So it's almost a reversible quilt. I could go either way. So this is a mystery quilt that I started years ago. And the woman who was teaching it, Diane, she just had bags and bags of scrap fabric. I think I have this upside down for what I want. And we just chose sort of a color scheme, and like it was scrappy, and it's a mystery quilt, and it was the first thing I'd ever done. And I'm not sure if you can tell, but I had no idea what I was doing and how to pick colors. But when you get further away from it, it works. So here's just a couple examples of those. So then the other thing is, while I was making it, my father-in-law gave us some hunting shirts that my husband didn't want to wear, and so I chopped them up to put in here. So there's a hunting shirt and a fishing shirt. So that one has like boats and cabins and moose, and then there's another shirt that I don't have represented here that has like antelope on it. So anyway, it's got some of my father-in-law's shirts in it. So I thought that would be kind of neat then. Like, it's just like a family quilt. It has things from multiple family members. So then I bought this fabric because I want to fill this in when I do my mom's shirts, because I've got a certain pattern I want to use. So I think this matches perfectly. Like, it'll go really nice. Isn't that like, it just, I didn't actually even pull out these squares. I just saw this online and I was like, yeah, I think that'll work. And then I got it out and laid it on here, and I was like, I couldn't have even picked it any better. So anyway, that's Fat Quarters Galore that I got that fabric from. And it's just so, I mean, the fabric is beautiful. It's nice quality, and it just so happens to match my project perfectly. And because she's got it coordinated, you know, I kind of knew that I like the maroons that are in here, these. And so I knew that I wanted to pull those out more. So I had picked this one, and then because her fabrics coordinate, like, they all just go together. It's perfect. Couldn't be more perfect. So there's that. So that's part of haul, my fabric there. And I'll put the Fat Quarters Galore website down below, but it's fatquartersgalore.com. And I think she has a bunch on sale right now. I don't know how long they'll be on sale, but I did go in and she had a whole bunch marked down when I looked this morning. All right. The other thing that I did is I went to a garage sale, and I was going to show you these. If I'll link to the pattern for the masks as well. That was on my pile. I went to a garage sale, and the gal didn't really have anything she was selling that I needed or wanted. But she had a free box, and I got to looking, and she had like this in there. Somebody's beautiful embroidery that they did, like this table runner, and she was just giving it away. And so I was like, oh, that's the item I would have paid money for. But I think it's so pretty, and I have a yellow gingham tablecloth on right now, and so this is just perfect. It's very spring summery. The other thing she was giving away, she had started a project for her grandson and didn't finish it, was just a bunch of craft felt, which is fine. But then there was also this yardage of felt. So Primitive Gatherings has a sheep drum pincushion that I've wanted to make for a while, so I think this is going to turn into that. I got onto Primitive Gatherings and asked them about felt and quality because I've never used it, and someone said it's probably polyester, but I figure for my first project that'll be fine. Although I think I could probably make 30 of those pincushions, if not more, out of that. So yeah, so that was my garage sale findings. Oh, and there was a little someone was doing a fabric de-stash in town, and so I ran in. I was an hour late because I forgot it was happening, and I think I missed all the really good stuff, the bigger yardage and stuff. But she had these little fat quarter bundles for $1 each, and so I love, love, love this feather one. Should I just open it for you guys? It's taped. Well, I probably won't then, because here. There we go. Got that one. So there were 2 bundles that I grabbed, and there was a fat quarter of this in each of those. So there are the feathers. Oh my goodness, they're even prettier opened up. Yeah. Okay, so those were my fun findings. And then I did purchase online a couple of cross stitch patterns, which I'm not going to start right away. I have some other things going on, but I thought I would show you. So to preface that, I've been reading these books by Catherine Arden, and the first one is The Bear and the Nightingale, and they're like a Russian folktale, fairy tale mythology, I guess. Really fascinating. But anyway, in here, she can see like the little mythological creatures. So they have something that maybe is similar to a brownie that lives in their house called a domovoi, and it's like a protector. So it does little chores and protects the house, and they leave out bread and drinks for it or whatever. So anyway, so that's where I had heard about these. And then the Stitchy Princess on Etsy has a pattern called domovoi, and hers is inspired by a little cartoon. So this is the domovoi, and then it's just like a little Russian kitchen. So this cute little curtain and the bird houses and the birds and corn, and then that kitchen setup. Oh, and a broom. I was like, what's that down there? I didn't see the sticks. So I will eventually stitch that up and put it in my kitchen. And then I also liked that she had the Samavors. Where's the Samavors? I keep calling it Samavors. Oh gosh. Well, I did not print the picture of that one, so I'll just get a screenshot of hers and I'll show it to you up here. But anyway, we'll get to those eventually. I thought those were really fun. And then this is the Little Women cross stitch group. I thought I'd show you that. So she sends you all of your, she doesn't have any kits left, but you can still buy the pattern and then put it together yourself and participate, which was what I wanted to do anyway, because I have some of the floss. So she gives you all of your materials and a schedule, and then a little welcome letter to tell you how things work. So I thought that was pretty cool. And then I guess that's it for haul. Yes. The other thing I need to do though is Pat Sloan's Home Is Block 19. Didn't do that. Didn't do my my layout cutting like I planned to do last week. So, you know, all in good time. Oh, I was going to tell you the Samavors. I love her descriptions that she puts with her patterns. I really like knowing the history and the story behind them. So the samovar, she wrote, is a metal container traditionally used to heat and boil water in Russia, the Ukraine, Belarus. Antique samovars are often prized for their beautiful workmanship. Since the heated water is typically used to make tea, many samovars have a ring-shaped attachment, a konforka. I got a little Irish in there. Anyway, around the chimney to hold and heat a teapot filled with tea concentrate. By the 19th century, samovars were already a common feature of Russian tea culture. The samovar was an important attribute of Russian households and taverns to tea drinking. It was used by all classes, from the poorest peasants to the most well-suited people. The Russian expression, to have a sit by the samovar, means to have a leisurely talk while drinking tea from a samovar. So I thought that was neat. I think it'll look really nice in my kitchen. And then she explained the domovoi as well as being a cute house spirit. He protects the well-being of a kin and in any of its aspects. And I don't know if that's a misprint or if a kin is in reference to like part of the home or the family. He is very protective towards the children and all the animals of the house, constantly looking after them. So yeah, so that is my haul. And then I already told you a little bit about my plans with the Pat Sloan block that I'm finishing. I'm going to do Stitches from the Heart. Maybe that's what I'll do for my stitch school this week, because Kimberly from Fat Quarter Shop does the Stitchy Talk, so you can stitch it along with her. This is a free pattern, and I'll link to that. So I've got some of my threads ready, and my fabric is on the way. That's what I bought with my Joanne gift card from my Mother's Day present. So that's part of my plan, is to start that and stitch with her. And then way back when, all 7 videos ago. I had done the ball jar, and Country Living magazine had just the jar, and then I found some patterns for some flowers, and I was thinking about doing something underneath, but I'm kind of just over it. Like, I really like it. I think it was fun, but I don't want to work on it anymore. So I have this little decorative pillow. What does it say? When life gets sour, sweeten with kindness. That's cute and all, but what I might do is make this into an envelope pillow and just be able to put it on here, and then I can decorate with it. So I think that'd be really cute. So I might do that, get that finished and just done with, because otherwise it's just sitting there staring at me, making me feel guilty. So that is pretty much what I've got today. I'm still planning on doing the giveaway. I'm waiting for a few more entries. So I'll put the picture up here again. It's a pattern by Cute Patterns by Maria, and it's tea with milk. To enter the contest, you need to be a subscriber. You need to be 18 years or older. Do not use the word giveaway, and make a comment with the word, write a comment with the word tea in it, T-E-A, in your comment. So yeah, good luck with that. I think that's everything. Oh, I will show you these real quick. This is a little organizational thing I've made for myself to keep in my purse. So the patterns that I'm planning on stitching, so there's stitches from the heart, I write down the threads that I need and the fabric, and then I can just have this in my purse. So when I'm out and about, I can grab the threads that I need. So I've got the Samavors and the Little Women and the Domavoy cards all ready to go. So then I'm not trying to find it on my phone or remember what I needed, or just not getting it because I have no clue. I think that's it. Thank you guys for being here with me again. I hope you have a great week. Let me know what you're working on in the comments, and don't forget to use the word tea in your comments to enter the giveaway. Thanks.